this week was crazy. As many people saw my mom on internet, she went viral. I mentioned that I'm going to go to Croatia and surprise her, and I promised to film it for you. And then just wanted to show to everyone that knows my mom, they know that she's a joker and she's very cute to everyone. So people actually like interacting with my mom. And I wanted just to show this video also to my friends so they would laugh. But then I could never imagine that it will go viral. So yeah, my mom is famous.
What did she say? How did she react to this whole thing?
She was saying later that there is a person that looks like me, some tourist. It reminded her of me. And then she said, yeah, I just saw her and I wanted to get rid of her, like, fast because she wanted to do something else. That's why she didn't notice me. And of course, I had my sunglasses and they were black, so they were not see-through. And I had my hair straight and usually it's curly. So she got confused. She was completely in autopilot.
My favorite comment that you said was asking you if you are a middle child.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a middle child. I'm actually the youngest. Anyway, there were some also bad comments like, I cannot believe your own mother didn't recognize her child. Shut up.
What the hell?
And also some people said that it's fake, it's staged. My mom could not stage this if I wanted to. If I want to do something like this, she would not be able to act. That's impossible. It was very funny because that night, it was not even 4 hours past since I posted, and I saw that the numbers of views are very high. And I said to my mom, 60,000 people saw you. And she was like, what? Why? I was giving her equivalency with the city, like almost the whole Pula saw you. And then she said, okay, they can like me, I'm going to sleep.
She doesn't care about the fame. She's living her life.
The morning after, I woke up to 1 million views and more. And my mom is very entertained by all of this. And some tourists came to her in the bakery and told her that they recognized her from the video.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Your business will blow up as well.
This is marketing. How was it otherwise, going back home?
I didn't relax the way I wanted.
As per usual.
Exactly. We were recording this before going, and I was saying that I'm gonna relax, and it was not like that. You're never alone, so it's never the way you expect to relax. But I was very happy to see my family and some friends as well. What about you? How was your week since we recorded?
I was in Croatia for the last 2 episodes, so excuse the echo you hear there. It's because I was in my mom's living room. And I also said in the last episode that when I leave, my diatoms might die, but they are alive. They survived.
Yay!
Ooh. So good holiday, let's say.
Did you manage to relax?
Yes, I think so. Like you said, not as I imagined, but yes, I forgot about work for multiple days for sure. So that is a success, yes. And you've been in Ghent. Have you been to Gensefesten?
Only once during the day. I've noticed I've become old. Nothing major happened. I had my student a couple of times coming to the lab. You love students. It's not my favorite thing. I do not dislike it, but it's not my favorite thing about academia. It's not in my top 5.
What's in your top 5?
I need to think, but I'm sure this one is not.
Not even top 10.
No, it's not. But okay, I'm excited for her. She has a nice project. I had a side project, so I gave it to her and everything should be fine. Mirna, you also had some updates about your review paper. Our review papers somehow have similar trajectory. We've been writing them for so long.
Like 5 years, I think. Is it possible?
And mine is a very long review. Good luck to the reviewers that will be reading that. I'm sorry. At one point, I thought, you know what? The momentum is being lost. I don't want to wait anymore.
When are you submitting?
This week.
Wow, congrats.
But I'm happy that the dissection is over. I'm so tired of reading my own words. I'm sick of my own thoughts and I just want it to go someone. And then if reviewer 2 wants to butcher it, I'll be happy to read the comments. And Mirna, yours is also submitted?
Yes, finally. After I swear it's been 5 years. And it's changed so much and I hate it. I cannot look at it. But I think I learned so much from this review. It's the best thing I did in my PhD.
Today, we want to talk about another topic that it's very important, especially to three of us. And it's about expat life, international students and studying abroad and living abroad, and how we also went through all of this and what it meant to us. So I would like to start with one question that is very hard for me to always to answer. And that's, where are you from? It always feels very weird when someone asks me where I'm from, because also my parents are from Kosovo. I was born in Croatia. I was moving a lot in Croatia and then studying abroad, first in the UK, then doing a PhD in Belgium, living there for 5 years, and now living here. I do say that I'm from Croatia, but it feels very unnatural to again live in Croatia. So I say I'm Balkan. And I live abroad. What do you say?
I keep it simple. I think it's the easiest if you just say, yeah, I'm Croatian. But when they ask you in Croatia, then it's another story. Then it has to be more complicated.
Yeah, same for me. I say I'm Turkish, but I live in Belgium. And indeed, the real thing comes, you are in your own country. Where are you from? What are you doing? Where do you live? And then the identity crisis starts there. Where do you belong? Where is home? And everything that comes with it.
Then the follow-up question would be, are you coming back home?
No one asks me that anymore. They tell me, don't ever come back.
But what do you feel?
When I first landed in this country, my aim was always to get something out of this experience and bring it back. But it doesn't go like that once you establish a life. So I don't think I'm going back home. Are you?
Also very hard to answer. I'm open for everything and for every possibility. So you never know if there is a very good opening or just life that happens and then you need to go home for whatever reason. I would be fine with that as well. But this moment, I don't see it. And I don't know what is going to happen. We will follow up with that. I cannot imagine Mirna wanting to go home back in Croatia.
Like you say, I also don't exclude anything. If there is like a perfect situation, of course I will take it, but I don't have that desire. I think it would be very difficult for me to integrate back home. It's funny to say, but it's true.
For me now, the question is, do you not want to go back because of the opportunities that we don't have with academic life? Or because of the mentality that we changed?
But then you actually go back to the root. Why did we leave? What is the environment, the ecosystem that is waiting for us?
For me, it's interesting this because I think you left because you wanted a new opportunity, but you had an idea of coming back. That was clear vision for you. I left because I wanted to be in a different environment. I wanted something new, and I felt like I will not get it in Croatia. And I was never thinking, oh, I will come back.
My professors were telling me, there is nothing for you here anymore. I really wanted to go for the resources, opportunities, experiences, learning, doing this PhD in an environment that will give me a different feeling, even. Then once you are in it and then you see, wow, there is another world.
From what you're saying, it's really that you're staying also because of the opportunities. You're staying because there is a better research or better career trajectory that can happen for you as well. And of course, then a lifestyle and everything that you now adapted and you feel better. The part that I'm interested in is this identity loss.
I think my identity in Croatia is not me. It's so far from me because I lived there as a child and teenager. I lived in Slovenia from 18 to 22, and there I feel like I became myself of today to some degree, so I feel more that identity, still some connection to it. But then also I'm losing that with time, so...
I feel sometimes weird when I'm back in Croatia with many people around me, so it feels like I'm always shifting who I am. For you, when you come back, you're kind of catching up on the same things that you left when you left. And then coming back, it feels like you're just bringing yourself at that spot and not bringing yourself what you're now. But I do think a lot of international students that move and then stay do feel a bit lost.
Even more deeper, it is a bit also finding yourself. Yes, you lose something, but you also find something else. We watch each other evolve into some different characters and grow in a personal way.
I would add that it's not necessary for everyone to leave the country in order to get different perspectives or to grow. I think what happens is that you just become richer by an experience that shapes you in a certain way.
I mean, my friends are very cultured that they stayed in Turkey. It's not about culture, it's not about knowledge, it's about different enriched cultural international input. It's different.
I think when you move, you're forced to face all these changes. And if you stay home, you're not forced to do it. So you have to put more effort. For us, if you move abroad and you stay abroad, you go through so much. If you cannot handle it, to open up, you will go back, right?
Well, if I stayed home, how would I be in a nude speech? All of this are learned here.
Okay, you need to say this story to people and your culture shock. Okay, we can turn this now philosophical to something a bit more interesting. Let's talk about cultural shocks, because maybe a lot of people that are here around us that don't move, that are not international students, they don't even understand how much something can shock us, that something is very much normal thing in their country. And one of them that is very funny that happened to you.
Yes, it was the first month that we went for a conference to Germany with my colleagues, and they said, let's go to the lake to swim. And then I'm walking with my colleagues, and I started to notice these naked behinds, and I was like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? And then the more we went into further this small forest and a lake, we noticed it's a nude beach in Germany. And luckily, I managed to avoid front parts because I closed my eyes. You may think that, oh, so what? You've seen some naked behinds. First of all, I'm with my colleagues. It's a bit weird. We just know each other for a month.
But they were not naked.
My colleagues not. I said, you don't think about doing that, right?
I think this is really German thing. I think I heard it in Armchair Expert. There is one nudist beach in my neighborhood in Croatia, and one of my mom's best friends goes there all the time, and she took my mom once, and my mom was traumatized. She said, I could not relax. I was reading the newspaper, and then one guy comes in front of me and his front part in front of my face. And he asked me, can you give me the newspaper when you finish? And my mom said, okay, I left home and I never came back. So she also had a shock.
Let's put some clothes on. Mirna, did you have a cultural shock?
When I first arrived to Belgium, and I would go for drinks with my friends and colleagues, and I would pay for things, and they would tell me like, thank you, and I would be thinking, why are you thanking me so much? And then I realized, it's because here it doesn't work the way it works in Croatia. Like, I pay now, you pay the next one. There's a rotation, but no, here you split the bill. So if you insist on paying, you will not get it back. It took me a long time to get used to that, but now when I go back to Croatia, where you need to pay, you need to be fast to pay first, and I'm just sitting, and then I realized, oh, they already paid for me, so my family is embarrassed.
Another thing that I was shocked on this line, that I invited friends coming to my home, and they asked me, what is our share? What? You came to my home? I cooked for you? You're my guest. They were like, but you went to the grocery, you're sharing your food with us. Or once in another time, I had blueberries and she had blueberries. She's like, can I pay for this? I am shocked. No, you cannot pay for the blueberries you had in my home. I am Turkish. If you come to my home, please eat. I'm offended if you don't eat. You are Ardiana.
For me, it was scheduling to meet your friends. What? This literally never happened to me in Croatia. If you organize a party or something and then you know that something will happen in advance, but to meet someone, we just text on that day. Are you free? Let's get a coffee. And then someone says, I'm not free. You meet tomorrow or day after tomorrow. But there is no agenda for friendships. There is no agenda for family gatherings. It's just you come, knock on my door, and you see if I'm home. There is no need to call me and to announce yourself.
That's something that I did not like about Croatia, that people just come to your door. I don't want to see you. So I like this about Belgium.
I adopted this culture in the sense that normally I will just go and ring the door. Now I call before. Who am I?
You announce yourself.
I
Wow.
do. It feels weird not to announce myself.
Indeed, I also started living by this way, but because you're just surrounded by this lifestyle. So you do announce yourself. You don't just show up at someone's house because that's just weird. Here, someone will be like, psycho, leave my doorway.
And what's the habit that you picked up here? Which parts of Belgian culture did you adopt? Agenda, right?
I don't still have an agenda.
Oh my God, disappointed. What I do is say Maya and I cannot stop.
I was doing that as well in Belgium. Ja, Maya.
I do it in Croatia, I do it in every country. I need to stop.
I don't think I took something except announcing myself and calling people in advance, meeting them.
But how much are we exposed to real Belgian culture? Then maybe the question of friendship section can come here, because were we friends with Belgian people, or how did the friendship work for you while your time being in Belgium or in UK?
Well, mostly our friends are international, like 90%. And I wonder then in the UK, is it similar like in Belgium that the British people are with each other and not so much with internationals? I would imagine, at least in London, that it's mixed.
When I lived in Nottingham, it was like that. A bit British people were together and then internationals indeed separate. But in London, I feel like it's very much mixed. But then again, there are a lot of nationalities in London and some people just went to the same schools even. So they keep on having their own friends groups, or maybe not inviting internationals, except if you're really working in a multi-culti company.
It is normal to gravitate towards the international people like yourself, because then when you arrive, your colleagues are the people that you are exposed to and you think they're your friends, and they're the safest people that you can meet for the moment because they're your colleagues. But then, they have their life, they have their friends, they have their family, they have their agenda. So you do not usually integrate into their life, but make your own bubble with most of the time international people.
We were indeed in a big bubble, not just international, but also academic bubble, which is again normal, way easier to create friendships with international students because we share the same reasons why we left the country, why we came to study here, why we chose this trajectory for our life. So we share many things in common, and that also is part of the friendship. I don't judge people that are from the country where you are that don't interact so much with international students because they don't have much in common as well. We don't share this desire of going out and study abroad.
Do you think it's so much more difficult for us, or it was, to do a PhD abroad than for somebody doing it in their hometown or in their country? Not the research itself, but all the other things we are managing ourselves without the support you have.
This is the hard part to also answer because we are not in their skin, of course. We can talk about our perspective where you are far away from your family, you're far away from your culture, you're far away from your friends, you're missing many things. So on emotional level, mental level, it's challenging. So you're going through way more things in your life than just going through a PhD. You're adapting to a new culture, you're adapting to a new language, you're adapting to new food, to new habits. I mean, that's why I also left home, like last time when I mentioned that I was crying because of the silly watermelon, something that you enjoy at home that you don't have here. And then you go through all of these things, sometimes very lonely because many people cannot understand you, because not everyone has a group of international friends that can create bubbles like we did as well.
I think if you are where you're from, most people will have their safety net of family and friends. And for us, we had to build it while we are also building the PhD. So that was double the work in some way. And you need to build that safety net. Otherwise, I think the stress would be too much.
Let me add also that you need to do all the admin stuff, visas and so on, in another language as well. And of course, you're taking that because you decided to come to that country. So when they say to you, yeah, but this is your decision, like no one is making you to do that, it's fine. But just understand that this is also something on top of what is your normal life, what was my normal life. This is something on top of it that I'm still dealing with. It can be very difficult. Maybe we can touch upon your journey. Where did you find out about the possibility of studying abroad or taking a PhD out? Because I think it's not so common for people to even understand that this is a possibility, or that there are ways of, even if you're not financially stable or if you don't have a support system. What was your journey? How did you find out about PhD?
Well, I already started my PhD in Turkey after I finished my master's. And my supervisor at the time really encouraged me to leave. I had a dream before, but when I was in my comfort zone, it didn't come so trivial that now I am going to apply and I'm going to leave. And then he said, you know what is the difference between someone who gets the position and who doesn't is just applying. And I thought that is true. Let me go through this. And then I went to Euroaccess and I looked for the things that interest me in terms of research. I had only one interview, which was my current supervisor. I packed up my whole life there within 2 months, all visa, everything done in 2 months and moving in here.
Who told you about Euraccess?
We are millennials. We Google everything. How to apply for...
Both of us did Marie Curie ITM projects. Most of the academic positions I was searching on that website, and this is more from European Commission fundings. But there are many websites as well where you can find job positions. And I think one of the best way of doing it would be finding the group that you would like to work with, the professor that you maybe sometimes met or read a paper, and send an email to that specific group, to that professor directly, asking about the research and asking if there are any open positions or if there will be any open positions, apart from looking for the open positions through many websites, university websites, or like websites like from European Commission. And Mirna, you immediately went to study abroad. I know that it's close in Ljubljana, but you already, as you were 18, you decided to go and study in Slovenia. And after that, what made you move to Brussels?
I think towards the end of my bachelor, I really became super interested in science and I wanted to study specific things. So I knew that there is not those kind of things in Slovenia. So I was looking abroad. But Belgium, I just went there for a holiday and I liked it. It was a nice sunny day. I was strict. So this is why I was looking for universities in Belgium. And I found some master programs, enrolled in one, and then I just stayed here around Belgium, different cities, Netherlands, just going here and back. And for PhD, I found my PhD on Twitter, super random. I think that is also a good tip. If you look on LinkedIn, Blue Sky, any of those networks, I think often you can find positions.
LinkedIn is now a very popular one.
I see everyday positions just in my small field. So I imagine in others there's much more. And indeed, I think what you said is good, that if you find a group that you really like, there doesn't have to be an open position. If you contact them, there can always be a way to apply for funding or something, or you wait until there is funding.
Do you think there is a specific type of personality people that go for doing PhDs abroad? Or is it really specific to science that you just want to do a PhD and you don't care if it's in your country, in any country or whatever, you just like that topic and you go for it?
Well, I would say in Belgium, because I did my master here, it just seems like the next step. Here, it's very frequent that people do a PhD if they do a master. I would like to see the percentages, how many of this, like biotechnology students, how many of them go for a PhD. I think it's much more frequent than in Croatia or Slovenia. There, maybe it's one from the generation that would pursue it. But here, it's an actual job, like a good job, so people do it. Maybe you get offered a position in the group that you did your master thesis. I think that happens very often here. So it's just something that you step in. But maybe for you to come to Belgium from abroad, then that is an actual step. But if you're already here, you just fall into it. I really wonder if I stayed in Croatia and did everything there, would I want to go for a PhD, just decide to leave like you did? I don't know if I would do that at that age.
I would not do a PhD in Croatia. It's not so often that students that are not the greatest students or the ones that are picked by professors that stay in academia. That's uncommon. So I would never see myself doing a PhD or research in Croatia. That's why I'm very happy that this happened all to me. What I see in common with international students is this type of braveness and also a bit of resilience as well.
And that bravery comes with so many things that we touched upon. It's an opportunity. If we are talking about expats, this usually is going for an opportunity that is somewhat better than where you are coming from. But this opportunity also comes with a distance from home, distance from family, distance from your language, distance from a watermelon. So
This is from a watermelon.
yeah, let me start with the academic or research environment. When we say better research environment, better opportunities, okay, but also different rules, even the basic things, you kind of have to adapt the culture of even doing a simple experiment there. So these are all learning skills or learning curves that we go through, and it's not always a walk in the park.
So what would you say that it cost you? What did you sacrifice in order to come where you are now?
I think I sacrificed comfort. I went living abroad for I don't know how many years. I went through so many stresses and discomforts that I would not, if I was at home, I think I would be living my best life. But then I would not gain all the other things that I did. And I don't regret at all. And of course, friends, family, the distance, we cannot deny that it's hard. We are close, but still it's never the same.
Okay, that is a given. But when I think overall, it's actually very hard for me to remember what I sacrificed because I enjoy my life a lot. I enjoy these decisions that I took. All the sacrifices are then always the same that we mentioned: the family, the friends, the distance, the food, the culture. Everything else, whatever I sacrificed, maybe didn't felt like sacrifice in that way, except this. Ups and downs, loneliness, that all felt fine when you think about where you are now. That just feels like that was my life and I love my life. What about you, Burcu?
I mean, we miss so many little moments that is back at home. Maybe indeed your friend is pregnant or your mom is sick or something happens, that these small things that we always miss, not so significant, but significant when you're far away. Those moments I wish I was there, but in the end I made my choice myself, which it was in the beginning not so straightforward for me because I had the idea to going back and everything felt like just passing through. I am making this nice friends group and I have a partner, I have a home. I do love the research I do here within the environment. Now it feels less set.
It's very different for us even in this moment because you know you are making your life here and you want to stay here, everything is ready. But for example, me, I have no idea where I want to go, where I want to live. And I feel like that for the last 14 years, if not more. So the whole time, I'm not sure where to put my roots down, you know? So this also puts some pressure. And for you, you moved now at 30 again. How does that feel?
No, same. I didn't decide where I want to live. So when someone asks me, where do you want to settle? I have no idea. Part of our work that it's very unpredictable and it's more opportunity orientated. You cannot always stay in the same group and build your career there. So sometimes you do need to move around. But I cannot even pick the country that I would like to pick for myself. Like, okay, I want to live in this country. This is not happening. That brings confusion.
Do you think we need to move for academia? Is it a necessity still to have the mobility? If so or not, what does the mobility brings you as a researcher?
I think yes. First of all, because the whole point of academic lifestyle is also learning and it's networking, bringing something new to your old lab, for example, or bringing something new in your new lab. I think it's very much needed. Also, science works together. You cannot just develop everything in one lab and you need to move around, send your students or part-time secondment. It doesn't have to be that you need to move and change the country because, okay, this is again depending on the positions that you can get in your university. But I do think that everyone needs to take that mobility very seriously.
Yes, I agree with you. I don't think it has to be to this level that somebody has to leave everything and move to US for how many years, but any kind of smaller mobility for some months, research visits, even in the same country, just change and learning from other labs, that's absolutely a must.
What's the most important thing academia has taught you that has nothing to do with your research?
To get over things. When something bad happens, you have a minute to be annoyed and then let's move on. What's next? I'm like that in life. I don't make drama when something happens. I just look at how can I solve this problem? What can I do?
Being patient, but I did not learn it yet.
In progress.
Just seeing benefits of it.
First time when we were submitting papers, I was like, okay, let's publish it. But then you notice from the moment that you start submitting your paper until it's published, it's like least amount is 6 months, 8 months. It takes time. You need to be patient, or you're waiting for certain results. You wait for your animals to grow. You wait for things. So I'm still trying to learn.
And you?
Understanding more other cultures and accepting it as well, accepting other people's views.
That's very important. And one of, I think, the most added impact of this expat life is to learn to respect and welcome every type of culture and personality and what comes with it, because we are all different.
Has working across countries changed how you actually do science?
Definitely, in terms of having more of creativity, it really helped me, because when you can think of resources, your imagination kind of expands with what you see around you and what is possible. Imagine that there are certain devices or facilities that you don't have it in Turkey or in the environment that you are in, and now it is there, so you may as well do an experiment with it, or the way of your thinking inspired by the scientists that are here or coming to here from other places. So you really learn how to think. I even learned how to question more from other professors' way of questioning things. It's really inspiring.
I think every university has its specialization, like the techniques they do. Like you said, they have the machines or they have expertise in something. And I look back at where I was during my studies, and in every place I really picked up what they're doing, and I have it now with me, and I can have different ideas on what we can do in my lab now. Wherever you are, even for a short period, you will pick up a new way of looking at an experiment or how you can conduct it.
Agreed. We are coming to the end of this episode, and here we discussed something that is very close to our hearts. We moved abroad, we changed our environment for our work and for our life. And we know that many people also go through all of these things. So we would also like to know, is there anything that you would like to share also with us that we forgot to mention? What was the hardest part for you when you moved and when you decided to move? And maybe just a round of what would you say to yourself when you were about to leave the country?
Go for it. I would say you are on a journey, enjoy it.
I would say the same to myself. Just do it. I didn't think anything through. I just did it. And I'm happy where I am. Now I'm thinking things through and not doing anything. Better to just move. Even if you don't like it where you move, it's fine.
Move again. I would say if you do find an opportunity and have an opportunity and you feel like you wish to move around and leave your country for just studying abroad and then coming back, it doesn't have to be like you're just moving forever. Just do it. Give yourself that experience. Finish the sentence. Home is?
Wherever I am.
Mirna. Home is?
Me. Peace and quiet.
Ardiana, what is it for you?
Home is where my cats are.
Oh, yeah.
It's cute.
We think that this topic is quite important for international students, and we hope that you feel a bit less lonely with listening to what we went through and how we dealt with it. We are Burcu, Mirna, and Ardiana, and this is Do Whatever.